due to copyright laws and difficulties sharing the podcast across different platforms, the music unfortunately had to be removed from the original recordings. I hope this doesn't spoil your enjoyment or interrupts the flow too much.
You are an Iron Man!
Okay, thanks very much, Keith.
No bother at all.
Keith Clarke's with me today, and we're going to have a wee bit of a chat about Keith's journey and his kind of fitness over the years. Suppose we'll just start off. Just how are you keeping generally, Keith?
No bother. Everything's good. Family life's hectic. The garage is busy, and it's all good.
All good.
All good. Bit of training.
And you're training away. Anything in the pipeline? Is there?
Yeah, I'm training for the Keltman Extreme Scottish Triathlon now on the 15th of June.
Of course, it would have to be extreme, wouldn't it?
Well, that's what they call it now. So yeah, it's in the Highlands of Scotland, a wee place called Torrington, over on the west coast. So it's a sea swim, which is meant to be very cold and full of jellyfish.
Lovely.
And then slightly longer bike than an Ironman, or traditional Ironman is 202 kilometres on the bike.
Right.
I think on fairly rolly hills. It's part of the NC 500 course, so it's meant to be very scenic.
Right.
And then make it on the run, and the run is up over 2 Munros, 2 mountains over 900 metres each. So it's a full marathon off-road, or near enough all off-road.
And the swim's a full Ironman distance?
400 metres shy. It's 3.4k. So they bus you around to the start, and then you swim back to the transition. So yeah, I think the water temperature, worst case scenario, was meant to be 10 degrees, best case 14.
So will you have to give any special consideration to the wetsuit that you're wearing for
that
one?
I bought a Hoob thermal wetsuit, neoprene gloves, neoprene booties, and a full neoprene skull cap. They recommend that you wear everything.
So where is this, in Scotland, did you say?
In Scotland, yeah.
It's obviously up north.
It's well up north. It's I think it's like a 9.5 hour journey from here. So it is. So it's well up. It's like literally in the middle of nowhere. But it gives, even though the weather, it's 15th of June, but they say the water temperature, because it's in the sea, it never really warms.
It's well up in the northern hemisphere, is it?
Yeah. Next stop's like Iceland and such. So yeah, it's,
holy shit.
It's been on my radar this last maybe. You have to enter a ballot for it now. Andrew Hazard, who done the Dakar with us way back in 2012, he done it as his last Ironman, long distance triathlon before he done the Dakar. So that was his last training run.
Uh-huh.
And he had said to me at that time that I would love it. So just between times I never really got doing it, and now it fills up every year, so it's a lottery. So you have to put your name in a hat. Mm-hmm. So I was lucky enough to get a slot this year for it. So. And
is this bucket list material for you?
Yeah. This will be probably like my last full distance iron. So it will. I don't really plan on doing any more, and I hadn't planned on doing any really. Apart from a couple of years ago when I done the one last lap out at Esker to celebrate 10 years of the Dakar. Uh-huh. I did that Ironman just on the same course, on the same rules, same everything, just for old time's sake. Bar that, no real inkling to do any other Ironman apart from the Norseman or the Keltman. That was the two I entered in the lottery every year. And
is it the idea that that one that's coming up is just that wee bit more extreme, that's kind of ticked your box, that's sparked that interest?
It's a bit nichey. The sister one of that is the Norseman, where you have to jump off the back of the boat. So this is like a sister race of it. Only you don't jump off the back of the boat, you just get into the water as normal. But it's the same kind of iconic scenery, not much about. You have to bring your own crew. There's no bells, there's no whistles, there's no red carpet. It's just whenever you come in off the finish line after 15, 18, 20 hours, there could be one person standing at the finish line. Just take your time and chip, and that's it. There's no
glory. There's no fancy photographs or downloading
not this
PDF
one,
documents.
No, definitely not. They say there's not even phone signal at it. Like I say, you have to bring your own crew. So Keith Murphy is coming with me. You have to have somebody with you on the run. You're not allowed onto the mountain unless you have a buddy with you.
Right.
And then, well, there's 2 cut-offs. There's an 11-hour cut-off, so you have to have the swim and the bike and 18 kilometres of the run done. And if you make that within 11 hours, you're allowed to go up over the 2 mountains. To qualify for a blue t-shirt. And if you're not making 11 hours, you're allowed to finish the race, but you have to go round the mountains, which I still think is very tough. It's meant to be very tough, but you get a white t-shirt then for finishing at the bottom of the mountain as such.
Right.
So, well, the name of the game would be to try and get a blue t-shirt to get up over the mountain.
That's unreal.
So 220 people doing it this year from all around the world.
And that's, it sounds like a lot of people, but it's quite a small number of people, really.
Well, compared to like Ironman Austria, where you could have up until 3,000 people.
Aye.
So yeah, it's a very niche, small.
And then presumably the locations that remote that there's probably little to no amenities.
That's it.
In terms of.
It looks like we're camping this year at it because the house prices, if you can find a house till rent, it was like $2,500 for a house for 5 days.
Right.
Because it is so remote. And then because it's part of the NC 500 course, a lot of people over lockdown they must have put up like wee Airbnbs and garden sheds at the bottom of the lanes and houses.
Yes.
But they're all fully booked from one year to the next, so we're sort of struggling to get somewhere to stay. So back of the van it is. The
back of the van, I don't know whether I'm qualified to give you any tips about camping. Given the experience I had in Cork, I ended up camping, as I said,
on the pitch,
on the GA pitch in the aftermath of Storm Betty with no ground sheet or nothing. So got a bit of a soaking.
I have the back of the van insulated for camping, and then I have a roof box tent.
Oh, matey!
So the boys is going to lay in the tent, and then my son Lance has come with me, so me and him will lay in the back of the van. The race starts at like 4 o'clock in the morning anyway, so there'll not be much sleep the night before the race. So I think we're going to drive Inverness direction and get a good night's sleep in a travel lodge, and then travel an hour and a half to the race.
Yes,
because you have to have the race briefing obviously on the Friday.
So logistics then, in terms of, I'm kind of, I know we're going off on a bit of a tangent, but I'm just intrigued by this, and I'm sure people out there listening will be equally fascinated. But in terms of just getting the whole thing started, is it a mass start from the beach, out you go, round a course, one loop in the sea?
Everybody gets a bus, so I think they have like 10, maybe 5 or 6 coaches in the morning to bring everybody around, and then you basically just get into the water and you just draw a line from A to B and you're swimming across the bay back to land. Shildigan is the wee place where the race starts, and then you swim till Torrington,
right,
and then get on the bike, and then you do the full loop, 202 kilometres, which brings you back till Torrington, and then you head off into the wilderness up the mountain. And
it's at that point then, and coming out of transition 2, where you're joined by your run buddy, is that right?
Yes, he is allowed to run all of the marathon with me if he wants, but he must run the last 20 odd kilometres with me. So I can do the first 20 kilometres on my own. He's allowed to come with me if he wants to pace me.
Yes.
But he must be there, it's called T2A, so you must be there by 11 hours.
Right.
Or else you're not allowed on the mountain. So it's a pretty strict race, no frills attached. They've even put out emails that you're not allowed to bring like a motorhome or a camper van or anything because the roads is that small. You're only allowed no bigger than a Volkswagen Transporter for crew members to follow.
Even in terms of just even cycling that road, it'll be spectacular scenery.
Spectacular scenery.
But I suppose, is the road surface?
The road surface
good,
could be fair to medium. No, it'll not be like Lanzarote or nothing.
Are we thinking? Are we going for a bog standard? Are we going TT bike?
No,
road
TT
bike, gravel bike. What are we thinking?
No, just road bike. Maybe put a fatter tyre on it. Like I say, it's not unheard of to be 9.5 hours on the bike course.
Right. Okay.
So like the average speed is going to be 12, 14. 15 max. So,
and that's probably because of the elevation then.
And I think the last 40 to 50 kilometres is like riding in a brick wall of wind. Yeah, so it's very exposed. So all elements at it, and it says it can be 4 seasons in one. So you have to have a mandatory race pack, you have to have a full waterproof with you. They do a checklist at T2A, and if you don't have the right equipment, you're not allowed on the mountain either for safety.
So you've got your bike. Do you need your bike loaded with survival kit as such.
Yes, so I'll have a good bit on the bike, and then, like I say, Keith and actually Aaron McIlhill is going with us as well. If he's allowed out and gets a permission slip signed, he's coming with us.
Excellent, yeah.
So they're allowed to drive up beside me in the van. Mm-hmm. You're not allowed to take anything out the window, like the Tour de France back. They must be stopped, and I must stop whenever I'm refueling or getting food.
Right, okay.
So it's a full... There'll be... Obviously, each person will have their own crew member and their own vehicle on the road.
And presumably then there's protocols for even doing the likes of those fuel stops, puncture repairs, whatever, like in terms of getting out of the way of other vehicles that are going
there's only certain places you're allowed to pull in, so it will be like... It'll be pulling into like a lay-by at the side of the road or a viewing point, something along them lines. So they might pass me and say, I'll get you 5 mile on up the road on the bike.
So I suppose you'll have to suss all that out.
Yeah.
Looking at the weather and trying to figure out where's the best strategic...
I've been looking at the maps. Keith Murphy's fairly clued in. He's good with logistics and stuff. So, yeah, between us all, we'll hopefully get myself around. That's the plan.
That is some going, hey?
That is the plan. So, there's an 11-hour cut-off, but then if you make that cut-off, as long as you're moving forward, there's no actual cut-off for the finish line.
Right.
I think you can be up till like 24 hours, as long as you're seen to be moving forward.
So your 11 hours, remind me of that again. So your swim and how far in on the bike?
Swim all of the bike and...
Oh yes, all of the bike.
All of the bike and 18k of the run.
18k of the run.
So you have to have that done. I think it's 11 hours 15 minutes. So there'll not be no dilly-dallying, because I know I've seen a lot of people miss the cut-off to go to the high course by 8, 10, 15 minutes, just because it was so severe in the wind.
There's no messing about. You're not going to be. You're not going to be a guy that's going to spend any time.
No, and you're allowed fully help whenever you get out of the water. Going by YouTube videos, the water is that cold that people are actually like standing in buckets of warm water, and their crew is like taking their neoprene gloves off them. They're standing in dry ropes. There's no frills. It's not indoors. It's just on the side of the road, and jump on the bike and away you go. Then try and get warmed up.
I will be following this with great intrigue and interest as this journey unfolds. Wow, I don't know how we're going to be able to follow that, but
hopefully whenever there is reception in and out, and then the young boy, he's coming with me, so he'll have my phone to hopefully update everyone on Facebook and what have you. So.
And then, are you planning on incorporating anything in terms of training your body? And maybe you already do. And I know you're no stranger to cold water and extreme temperatures and stuff. And I know you've done a lot of OCR work and the Nuts Challenge, the T-shirt you're on you there this afternoon there.
Yes.
Are you incorporating any temperatures work, cold water immersions?
I've been going up, not actually the ice bath. But I've been going up till swim or up till Splash and Moneymore for swimming, just to try the wetsuit and stuff. There, I was up with sort of more in around Christmas time. So, but once I've got the entry here, I need to just get back up now. We're 10 or 12 weeks out from the race, so without the water temperature rising too much, I need to get up and get a full Ironman swim done and get used to it again. But
and it's a sea swim, isn't it?
It's a sea swim, and I think it's loaded with jellyfish.
Aye. And how are you with jellies?
I've never actually seen any jellies whenever I've been Ironman swimming. Just seen them on the beach on days off as such. So, yeah, I've heard a few horror stories of boys like jumping out of the road of them or trying to get out of the road and then like cramping because they've went off their swim stroke a wee bit.
Oh, aye.
So,
but with the cold.
Aye, the cold, and then they see the jellyfish and sort of scares them, and then that breaks their stroke or stride. So. Yeah, it'll just be like trying to keep calm, get the breathing right, and keep the head in the water.
And that's just a wee bit about the mindset, and that's one of them things that you're going to have to try and work on, just in terms of what the idea of a sea jelly. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, aye, no, and I think because you're going from bay to bay, I think the middle of the sea is very cold. They say you can actually feel the temperature drop.
Right.
Whenever you're in the middle. Aye, so it must be very deep.
You're probably getting surges of.
It'll be like hot and cold.
North Sea water coming in there into that
full on, yeah. So,
Jesus.
Yeah, it'll be pretty extreme now, but that's the name of the game.
That sounds unreal. That's going to be spectacular.
Yeah, well, looking at the YouTube videos and all, from one year to the next, the weather changes. They had severe wind last year. There's very warm temperatures on the bike. The year before that, and I think the year before that, then it was very cold. And I think in the last 2 or 3 years, nobody got up the mountain, even if they made the cut-off, because the mountain rescue called it that it was thunder and lightning strikes at the top of the mountain.
Right.
So even though people made it on time, they weren't allowed to go up the mountain for safety reasons.
Hey, do you know what? It's such an epic challenge. It nearly deserves an epic weather. As much as you don't want thunder and lightning on the thing, it would just be.
No, that's what they say. And they say it's always windy and full of midges.
So between the wind, the midges, the North Sea, and the jellyfish,
it'll all be kicking off.
And a killer course.
Mm-hmm.
So you're obviously training a lot at the minute.
Yeah,
you're getting through no hiccups, no injuries.
No, touch wood now. I got lap of the lock on the bike done there one day, and 3 hours in Gorton on the bike, and then an hour run after it. Just stepping up my game a wee bit and trying to get bigger miles in back-to-back days. And then we'll actually have Lanzarote booked here for the middle of April. Keith Murphy and myself heading out for a few days to get
get some hills and a bit of wind.
A few hills and a bit of wind, and even though it'll be warm, it mightn't just be like Scotland, but you're sort of guaranteed good weather for back-to-back days for biking.
And no better place in terms of the biking.
Oh no, it's again Lanzarote spectacular. All the climbing you want, all the wind you want. So perfect conditions.
Perfect conditions.
Hopefully.
You've mentioned DECA. You've peppered it in there at the beginning of the thing, and for anybody that doesn't know what the DECA is, remind us what the DECA is.
So the DECA Ironman was 10 full distance Ironman races back to back. So one day after another for 10 days. Is it?
Do you know what? Mind is blown with that, and I was amazed when I heard it. And I know what it is. I know the commitment that's required to even complete one. I can't begin to imagine how you would prepare for 10. But you know what? Mm-hmm. Let's play an Iron Maiden tune, and then we'll have a wee chat about that.
No problem
at all. I hope you don't mind a bit of Iron Maiden.
Sounds perfect.
Happy days. Alright, Keith, that was Aces High. I picked that one because of the elevation. The elevation inspired me. That was an Iron Maiden song from back in the day about fighter pilots and whatnot.
Yes, perfect.
But here, what's the story with the DECA compared to my experience of Ironman, which is one Ironman, novice Ironman.
Yes.
And it's a phenomenal effort to get to the start line of any of those types of extreme events.
Big time.
How in under Christ do you go about preparing yourself to do 10 Ironman distance triathlons 10 days in a row?
Yeah, kind of just escalated from, well, we had Bob and myself had done a good few single Ironman, and then we done an Irish Ironman one time. So it was, we were going to do Lap the Loch. That's the people do on the bikes, obviously. So we had thought about maybe trying to run it. So we incorporated the run around the loch into an Irish Ironman. So we cycled 13 mile from Bob's house out to Loch Ness, and then we swam the 2.4 mile, and then we cycled the 13 mile back to Bob's house, which was the swim, and then the 26 mile done. And then we started off on our feet and done Lap the Loch, and we ran the 112 miles instead of biking it.
Right.
So it had escalated from an 88 mile run, which is round the loch, till thinking we could do 100 miles. And then,
have you and Bob ever had your mental health checked out in terms of, like, do you just be sitting down saying, instead of cycling, will we go and run around it?
Well, it just kind of escalates from one thing till another.
What's the escalation time frame on that?
So we had done the Mornway Ultra, which was probably 2 months before the Lap the Loch. Mm-hmm. And then in between times we done the Murray Peters 24-hour race around the running track.
Right.
So that was sort of like getting base miles in. So we ran the 24 hours around the Murray Peters run track.
Just round and round the one.
Just round and round, yeah. They rang a bell every 4 hours to change direction. Mm-hmm. So it was the first 24-hour race around the run track that Aaron Gina had ever done. So it must be 15 years ago now. I think it clocked up maybe close on 90 miles that night, or that day. And then it escalated until Lapping the Loch, which was 88 miles. And then we thought if we could do that, we could do 100. And then we thought if we could do 100, we could do another 12, which would be the bike done.
Yes.
So then we turned it into an Irish Ironman, and it took 36 hours to do the full thing, between the bike, the swim, the bike, and then the run again. It actually ended up 114 miles when we ran.
That's bonkers.
With logistics.
So just the two lads with the
but I headed off.
Dreaming big, hearts of lions, and away you go.
Yeah, we roped in a couple of lads with a bike, and then we got a wee tuk-tuk, like a wee child's 2-seater thing that you tow behind. So that was all our food and drink and whatnot in it. And then we had we had a big board on the back of it, which is like a metre square board, 1/2 inch thick. So that was sort of catching the wind a wee bit. So
the aerodynamics weren't
wasn't overly good for him either. And then I had a wee camper van at the time. So mum and dad and all my sisters and my wife and all, they all joined in. Like I wouldn't do anything without any of them. So always rendezvous with them first and tell them what we're thinking. And if the date suits them, then it suits us, and away we go. Because you need lots and lots of help, obviously.
You absolutely do.
So that was the Irish Ironman, which then escalated till we done a triple Ironman.
Okay.
As in preparation for the Dakar. So instead of doing like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we done all the swim, all the bike, and then all the run. So it was 440 lengths of Cookstown swim pool, which was a 7.8 mile swim. And then we cycled the 336 miles on the bike.
Right.
Which was down Cookstown dual carriageway, hanger left and left again back round. It was a 7-mile loop. So it was quite a few loops. It was like something like 47 or 50 loops on the bike.
Right, okay.
Sounds a bit crazy, but it's good for logistics because we're using Bob's house as base. So it meant you were going past the house like every hour, every 45 minutes or whatever it was taking, half an hour. And then the run was 1/2 mile out and 1/2 mile back. So that was 78 times on the run. Which was
really, such a short
run, yeah.
Short run.
Again, keep everything close. It just meant, like, say, some of my friends that don't maybe run or bike, that they were fit to jump on and do a lap with us.
Okay,
my dad was fit to come and do a lap with me. A lot of times you're walking a lap, running half a lap, running to the lap post, walking. So it just meant that it was very close. No, you weren't going away off and doing 20 mile out and 20 mile back. Nobody knew where you were. It kept everything safe. So it did. So it kind of made sense. Plus we had done the 24-hour race around Mary Peters track, so we're sort of used to doing the lap thing. And it works.
The Mary Peters thing had kind of got you into that space where you were able to do that kind of monotonous thing.
So you just kind of switch off but switch on, but just keep motoring one foot in front of the other. And then that escalated from the triple. That took 59 hours and 47 minutes to do the full triple Ironman. It rained for like 24 hours on the bike. It was absolutely saturated. We had to get a land of cycling shoes. We had to get a land of other clothes. We actually blew Bob's tumble dryer up. We were trying to dry that many clothes.
Bob's tumble dryer wasn't prepped for this.
No. But we hung in, we got it finished. We done that for charity as well. That was for EMS, the medical services. They were trying to raise money to do sporting events. So very worthy cause. So they were trying to buy a new ambulance at the time. So
very good.
We raised good funds for it. And then we done a couple of 12-hour spin bikes. We literally just parked the spin bike at the side of the road outside Darren Allen's in Cookstown, nutrition. And I think we ended up doing 220 miles on the bike in the 12 hours. That was for Red Nose Day. So we got a good few pound lifted for that as well.
Going nowhere fast.
Yeah, just literally staring at the wall or the window all day. And then that escalated until Bob, he had knew about the Dakar. I hadn't really knew about it. And it must have been always on his bucket list. And then he asked, do you fancy having a go at it? So Trail Limits, we organised it as like an event that time. And we opened it up to everybody. So I think there was 7 or 9 people had originally was going to do the Dakar with us, and then it wingled its way down till 3. So it was Andrew Hazard from home here, Bob, my cousin, from home, and then myself. And we went out to see Donovan Ross at Esker Loch and told him what we were thinking and the logistics of it. And we hired the loch. Well, I think he donated at the time because it was for charity, which was very good of him. And he let us use all his facilities and premises, and we just basically took over for the 10 days. And away we went, done the swim every morning, the same course every day, up and down the road on the bike, 12 laps on the bike. And then we done a 1 kilometre run in round the loch every night.
Right.
And back-to-back days, and that was it.
So 10 days in a row.
10 days, yeah. We started 6th of July right through to the 16th.
That's phenomenal. Like,
So that was
blows my mind. I mean, hairs in the back of the neck job, even contemplating like. Tell me what that was like. You know, you were obviously no stranger to endurance. You know, your fitness wasn't going to let you down. You weren't going to be a guy that was probably going to complain or whinge too much about anything. But there must have been a point in the 10 days we were thinking, what the hell have I signed up to? Or maybe there wasn't.
Oh no, there was quite a few of them. Actually, whenever I woke up on the second morning, it was like as if you were hit with a ton of bricks. Like it felt 10 times better doing single Ironman. Like say in Lanzarote, I woke up the next morning. Obviously you'd be stiff and sore, but I felt okay.
Yeah.
But I woke up on day 2 of the Dakar thinking, whoa, this should be like day 5 or 6 or 7 here. So I would just had to keep the calories going in and man up every day and such, and get the wetsuit on and get into the water, and just broke it down one day at a time, one lap of the swim at a time. Get the swim done, get onto the bike, break it down into the laps.
Yeah.
Start the run every night or every evening, whatever it was. Some days it was dark, some days it wasn't, and just break it down one lap at a time and just keep picking away at it. That's all you can do, because if you think too much of it, you spook yourself. I think
you would. You become very overwhelmed, and
yeah.
I think a lot of people become very overwhelmed whenever they hear anybody talking about something. And for me, even the thought of doing a marathon, before I was kind of interested in running and fitness and stuff like that, would have been something that I would have immediately recoiled at.
Yes.
And like, but I always remember sitting watching the London Marathon on TV when you're a kid, and the Great North Run and things like that there, and thinking, Christ, I'd love to be able to do that. You know,
how does people do that?
How do they do that?
Yeah.
And breaking it down is the best advice, really.
It's getting started. It's finding a run club. It's finding a run buddy. It's just buying your own shoes. It's a matter of like walking the dog an extra time a week, and before you know it, start running. You get 1 mile. Mm-hmm. Like I take clients out, and like they literally, someone can hardly run like for 2 minutes, so just you walk for 30 seconds, you run for 10, and you just break it down, and before you know it, they're doing a mile within a few weeks.
Aye.
They'll eventually get there.
And you break it down, aye. So see, whenever you were in the Dakar, I'm going to come back to the Dakar, because I'm just super excited to be chatting to you about the Dakar, because it's just something that's bonkers. It's so wacky, but it's an amazing feat to be able to do. Did you need any did you have sports rubs or anything like that? Or
we had we had done loads of stuff, so it was kind of knew what we were getting ourselves into. Obviously we had never done a Dakar before, but we'd done a lot of research. Like, we weren't just jumping in both feet. We knew the logistics. So again, prep the family. People take off work, so they knew they were going to be there with us. Anthony McKenna from Macrofelt, he basically stayed the 10 days with us as well. Mm-hmm. Andrew Hazard has his full crew. Like, we were getting massages every night. We're getting taped every night. Leg rubs. No, like the rehab side of things was very, very good. And again, like, anytime I do talk about it, Andrew, Bob and myself, they'll all say we done the miles, but everybody else done the work.
Aye.
Which was true, because they had to be like up before us. They had to get the wetsuit dried. We had nothing else to do, only swim, bike and run and eat. They literally, because the bike course was, you had to do a loop past the car park where we were based out of every time, so it was only a matter of shouting over and saying you wanted a fruit smoothie or you wanted a bag of chips, and somebody was getting it sorted for you, and it was just, you literally didn't even have to get off the bike sometimes.
That was my next question. My next curious question was the nutrition, because there would be no way that you could fuel yourself for 10 days like you would fuel yourself for a single Ironman. No. You wouldn't get away with your high five and your gels. No,
Gatorade had actually sponsored us for it, so they had like a big pallet of Gatorade, so we're using it. But I think over the whole 10 days I only had like 4 gels, and there were maybe 2 of them could have been caffeine ones, just to keep you alert in the evening time.
That's something that I've noticed with you, Keith, that whenever you've been doing these big events and big sports, you quite often put a wee post up about the calories in and out.
Yeah.
And one thing that I've always noticed is you like to eat food, proper food. You take your calories from proper food rather than the artificial stuff.
I'll go back till one of the first times we were doing 100 mile. Carl Fokker, he had done lots and lots of 60 mile. I'm sure he'll not mind me saying if he's listening to this, but he was in Clocker Valley Wheelers, and he had done lots of 60 miles, maybe even 60 milers on the bike back-to-back days. But we were taking him, he done all the bike at the DACA with us, so he did. So he was getting himself prepped, and Bob and myself took him out for his first 100 miler. And like, he couldn't believe how much we were eating. You know, but we were fueling for 60 miles, we were fueling for mile 80, we were fueling for mile 90.
Yes.
And like, we stopped at McDonald's, we kept eating, and he was like slagging us at how much we were eating. But then on the way back, he kind of like drifted off the back a wee bit when he realised maybe it wasn't just a fitness thing, it was just the fuel had got him.
Aye.
Plus, well, we done that in 2012. So obviously there was gels and energy stuff, but there wasn't the same. I don't think there was the same. Like, nobody really knew about carbs and fats as much as now.
Yes.
You know, people taking like 90 grams. Like, well, I wouldn't say we were winging it, but we knew we had to eat back what we were burning. So we did eat a lot of food. In fact, I have a wee diary down there where my niece wrote everything down. So it was like warm Weetabix in the morning, pancakes, and then out onto the bike with like chocolate spread sandwich, cheese and ham, toasties, like proper food, scoops of Chinese, kind of stuff that you wouldn't maybe just eat if you're like trying to be healthy as such, but
high calories,
like
high
the wife was, because the water was quite fresh, or we were getting tired, the water seemed cold in the morning times. So the wife was like heating up tomato soup, and she was like putting 2 scoops of butter into the tomato soup just to get more calories in. And then, because I had taken the Gatorade, it was sitting on a big pallet, and every time we were coming out of transition, it was Gatorade. And not to run Gatorade down, but I had taken that much of it that it had given me ulcers in my tongue.
Right.
There was that much sugar in it. So it ended up like day 3 or 4, I could hardly swallow. So the wife was having to like blend my food for me. She was like putting rice and burgers into the blender, and it was just like just in bits, and then trying to eat like out of the blender
and that's
spoon.
going through you quicker, obviously.
So
you know,
things weren't good. But it was grim now, to be fair.
Grim and yet spectacular.
Because it was now maybe 10, 12 years ago. Like, obviously there was a lot of people doing triathlon, but I think if it was now, there would be even more people who would recognise what it was. Yes, it was a big thing, and there was people there every day supporting us, but obviously knew we were suffering and what it was doing. But I think within that last 10 or 12 year window, a lot of people have done an Ironman. So now they can appreciate of what it was, you know, because I think there's still less than 100 people in the world ever to do a DACA.
I'm not surprised. You're certainly, you know, able to hold your head high and count yourself as one of them brave souls.
Even to start it, you know, it is.
There's a fine line though, isn't there, between being a hardy buck or a buck Egypt?
Big time. Sometimes you have to be a bit of both at them, but
you do need to be a wee bit wacky, like.
I know you have to.
I know, obviously, you take your fitness and your training very, very seriously, but I think without that element of wackiness and
and you have to believe in yourself, and you have to put yourself out there. Like, a lot of my clients, like, if they say to me, I want to run a marathon or I want to do an Ironman, well, the first thing I ask them is, do you think you can do it? And if they say yes, well, I'd be like, well, you're halfway there. It's a great start.
That's the starting point,
you know. So there's no point getting into negative. Like, I remember day 6 or 7, I don't know what day it was, could hardly sleep. I woke up the next morning, my stomach was just empty, it was like a balloon, and it was all I could do to like tell the wife to get up and make something to eat. In fact, I think I lifted the phone from under the pillow and rang my dad. He was at home, and I got him to come out. By that time the wife was up, but they made like scrambled egg or something for me, and I remember my dad giving me a big hug, and there was tears in both her eyes, and I remember him saying to me, like, you know, you've done phenomenal, you don't have to go on here, like. And I remember just thinking, like, Dad would never stop me from doing anything, but I remember just saying, it's a 10-day job and we're only in day 7 here, we'll have to go on. So, but once you get going again and get moving the next morning, you know, it helps.
And it's amazing how we can find that extra gear, you know, it was a similar experience for me in Cork whenever I got off the bike and I was in cramping and how I was going to get round the course, and it was thinking about my own family and the idea of I came here to do this event. I'm not going home without this medal. It's important for my boys to know, you know, that when you do put your mind to it, you can do it. It's not going to be easy and mightn't be pretty.
No.
But you gotta believe, don't you?
I know, you have to believe in yourself. Like I have had clients through the door that couldn't believe they do one marathon, and now they're in double figures for doing marathons. You know, so
no, it's amazing, and it's, you know, it's a lovely place to be in terms of being able to inspire others as well, because you've kind of been there, done that, worn the t-shirts and everything else.
No, it's good. Like people say to me on many occasions, you know, that they've done like a 10k because they watched us do something, or they signed up to a half iron or whatever, and then because the DACA was for charity, we done it for Cancer Focus, we actually raised like £24,000
brilliant
at that time, which was obviously a huge amount of money, and was a lot back then.
It certainly was.
So actually Cancer Focus invited us down till Belfast to get a look around where like all the scientists work and see where the money goes.
Yeah.
And nobody really gets to do that, as they were saying. So it was like a real nice privilege to get to get appreciated for the grim effects that we had, but.
And not even a medal to show for it.
Yeah, not even a medal. Well, we got a t-shirt, and then somebody had made up like a wee mock medal. So
he's got it. He's got some sort of thing. But
the family was in the background, and but like I say, no big hoorah or nothing. You know.
And have you got a bespoke special Decaman tattoo?
Yes, I have. I have the 10 Ironman in 10 days one.
Oh yes,
so,
nice.
So just in case I forgot I'd ever done it.
I don't think you're going to forget that. I would say that calf muscle hasn't forgotten it.
No. So.
Oh, that's unreal.
Yeah.
Very, very inspirational stuff, Keith.
Cheers.
We'll have a wee chat then just about the stuff that you can do and the training that you offer for other people. But let's pick a tune. This part of this podcast, there's a wee bit of heavy metal, rock and roll, and whatever else thrown. So I've picked the first one. You get to pick the next tune. What sort of a tune would you think we would? What do you want? What are we going for?
Do you want an Iron Maiden one?
Well, even better if you've got an Iron Maiden tune.
I like the Run for the Hills.
Run for the Hills,
yep.
Classic. Alright, Keith, so Run to the Hills, what a classic tune. Running in the hills, no stranger to that.
Oh no, I love the hills, love the mountains, a bit of off-road.
The off-road thing too. I remember you guys running about when you were in BST, and I would have seen you at all the mud runs around the country. I kind of got into them, and there was an odd one he's painted red from head to toe with horns and all sorts.
Yeah,
I don't know whether that was you or maybe one of the other boys.
It was myself. Patter.
I was thinking
Patter's still carrying the flag for it, so he has. So.
He's still baiting away.
Yeah, Hellenbach. Yeah, so the mud runs, the off-road runs, super fun because there's probably a stopwatch or a clock going, yes, maybe even a timing chip, but they're more relaxed, more to get you out, get you moving, which I think they're great for that, because like a lot of team building ones, a lot of gyms do them, you know, they're great for socialising, and plus they're good fun.
The thing I always enjoyed about the mud runs, and I'm actually raging because my favourite local runs on, I think it's on the 4th of May, Rampage, at the Jungle.
It's a classic too.
I love it. Good. I really love it. But I've signed up for Belfast Marathon, and that's on the next day.
Right, but you could do both. That's not the next day.
Hey, if I was Keith Clarke, I probably would do both. But Mickey Collins is thinking, no, I could twist my ankle very handy, and then there could be 3 months of marathon training down the
spine. Oh no, well you have to pick your A game, like so.
You know, you gotta try and pretend to be smart even if you're not.
No.
But so those types of things always made me feel like a child out running about, and the only thing that was different about being a bad cub sprinting around in the fields, climbing trees and jumping over shucks and stuff was you didn't get a bollocking from your ma when you came in, because you were the parent as such, coming in buzzing, wiping the snot from your nose, you know. And you
need a bit of blood.
Blood, sweat and tears.
Yeah,
that was another. You were involved in that, weren't you?
I started BST back in the day. It was just a crowd of us. I was training myself in Park and Ower to go till Hellenbach and a few mud runs. Mud Madness and Portadown was on at the time.
Yep, that's
and
right.
And then it just escalated from myself till 5, till 10, till maybe 50. And then we organised the event, and we done maybe 6 or 8 events in Park and Ower with 500 people up.
Yeah.
And then Run for the Hills in Pomeroy had 620 people. Great times, great crack.
Fantastic events. Hey, and I was at Run to the Hills in Pomeroy, and I think it did at least 4, maybe 5 of the BST runs in Park and Ower as well.
They were mighty crack.
Really, really enjoyed them. There's no danger of any of them coming back any day soon, is there? I know we're off piste.
It's an insurance thing. It's hard. A lot of paperwork and kind of things have just got spoilt that way. But
prices,
yeah. But they were all good, and that sort of escalated into the Spartan races then.
That's right.
So
you were going over to, presumably back then you were having to travel for Spartan, because I know Spartan came to Ireland once. I did it when it came in Punchestown Racecourse. And it was quite enjoyable. I was actually a wee bit disappointed because there wasn't enough mud, there wasn't enough water, and it was too warm.
It was more like a runner's race, really.
It was probably a spectacular event for anybody that wasn't used to.
First time out now, definitely. Yes, but no, they've had some iconic ones. I've done a few Spartan Ultras, like in the Highlands of Scotland as well. Everywhere from London, Wales, at the Bracken Beacons, we done Spartan race, and then I did the 24-hour World Championships in Iceland for Spartan race. So
I'm laughing away to myself, because there's just, there doesn't seem to be, there's no filter with you and pushing things to the extreme, is there? What's a 24-hour Spartan look like?
So it was like a beast or a sprint race. So it was a 6-mile loop in Iceland. I think we got up till -17 in the middle of the night.
Christ of Almighty!
So you had a pit every time. So obviously it was in Iceland. So the pit stop was in a 4G football pitch with like a big dome, all heated. And that was a transition mat, so you had a pit every lap. Right. And then you had 1 hour from you pitted till you got out through the door to start your next lap. So you could take up to 59 minutes, but you had to be out. And if you didn't, then that was you out of the race. So being from home here and a bit of Irish weather, we're used to a bit of rough and tough. The weather was pretty horrific on lap 1. And I think everybody came in and they tried to get warmed up and pitted. But I think then they got too used to the heat in the tent, and then a lot of them didn't even shape at lap 2.
I just thought it was a bit too cozy, but too comfortable.
So I had a real good crew with me, as I do with all my things, and basically it was change of shoes, fire a cup of soup into me and out the door, and away we went, and lap after lap. And then I knew myself that the course was getting a bit slim pickings. There wasn't as many out on course. And then again, because it was in Iceland in December, the weather was bad and it was dark for like 19 hours. So we had head torch on most of the time. And just kept picking them off. And then at one stage, actually, we were racing under the Northern Lights.
Unreal.
So we were carrying a sandbag on each shoulder in the middle of a forest, looking up at the Northern Lights. And it was just, wow, spectacular. It wasn't a cheap race to enter, but it was obviously well worthwhile seeing that. And then I got into the pits, and I had time for one more lap, and the wife had said to me she thinks that I'm winning the open wave.
Right.
So there was the professionals who sponsored and paid athletes, and then there was everybody else. And I managed to win the everybody else race in Iceland. So it was really good that way.
So you didn't use the hour then? You
no,
thought, if I sit down here and get myself comfortable, it's going to be much more difficult to get back out into the elements.
It's a bit like people coming to the gym in the evenings. If they're home and they sit down and they don't want to go back out, you have to keep yourself busy. Which I'm sure you'll understand yourself. So I was just on the mentality of keep moving, don't be getting comfy.
And you're not the sort of guy maybe I'm wrong, but you don't strike me as the sort of guy that wants to be sitting about.
No, I do like my bit of downtime, don't get me wrong, but no, I like to use the daylight and use the time. Life's short, as they say, so you have to make the most of every day. So
And you're always running up and down mountains too. I see you up and down in the Mourne Mountains. You're a big fan of the Mourne Mountains.
No, I love the Mournes now. Been to them like hundreds of times, obviously, but every day they're different. The weather changes from hour to hour, day to day.
Mm-hmm.
I love getting up early. I love getting the sunrises. I love being down late. I love getting the sunsets.
Class.
I've had plenty of grim days down in the mountains as well.
And are those moments that you'll take out by yourself, or have you got people that go with you on those? Because I know sometimes I like sometimes to be on my own. I like that sense of aloneness.
Yeah,
and I like to be able to have a moment to myself and peace.
Oh, big time. 50-50. A lot of it, I don't like planning too much, so kind of if the wife's say at home or not working or the kids is doing something and I look out and the weather's half decent, I'll just be like, right, I'm going to the mountains.
There'll be an ocean now.
Yeah,
that's a day for
I'm in the van and gone. Mm-hmm. And then other times I do plan it with groups and we do head down.
Yeah.
You know, the group days is class 2. Maybe some days it's people's first days in the mountain, and I love getting somebody, like say some of my mates that don't do mountains, I love getting them to the top of the mountain for the first time. They'd just be like, wow, should have been up here years ago. And I'm like, yeah, it's only an hour down the road, really.
And it's you know, it's lovely to be able to see that, and it's lovely to understand. And I mean, I genuinely believe it now, and coming into trying to get myself in shape and trying to better myself, suppose probably over the last 10 years, but from drinking beer and smoking fags and rocking out back in the day to now not being drinking, not smoking, not rocking out. But seeing a new version of myself evolving, and there's an excitement to be had with what am I capable of, where is this going to take me, what's next.
Like I used to work out in Again Meats for 16 years, and guys, they were all into like football, Gaelic, partying, drinking. Me not so much really. I was like out on the bike or going mountain biking or something, and like I used to ask them about the football or whatever, and they'd ask me about the hills. And now 10, 20, 30 years later, it has evolved that they're now in the hills and they have bought mountain bikes, and I think they've just got fed up with a party lifestyle and realised there was so much more out there to discover. Yeah, and you're never too late. You know, it's never too late, I don't think, to start. You know, there's people always, you know, whenever you're talking about the Ironman, for example, and you'll have heard this, I'm sure, as many times or probably more times than me. Oh, I could never do it because I could never do the swim. And I immediately respond with, well, yes, you can. Yeah. Well, if somebody says to me I can't swim, I say, you can, you just haven't learned yet. You can't swim yet. You know, so, no, if everybody could swim as easy as they could walk or ride a bike, there would be like loads and loads and loads of triathletes. But whenever I swam at school and not competitions or nothing, but our mum would always take us to the pool. It was the big thing to do on a Saturday. And I remember excuse me, I remember training for its first triathlon and doing like one length of Dungan Pool. It's quite a deep end in it, so I remember like hanging off the deep end, like burning my arms out, and then trying to make my way back up, and before you know it, you have 2 lengths done someday, and the next day you have 20 lengths done, and before you know it, you have a half iron swam, and it's all about consistency and keeping at it, and you know, and well, I had signed up till an Ironman at that time, so I knew I had to do the swim no matter what, so it sort of forces you into the water. So I think signing up to something is really good as well. Signing up is definitely a big thing for me. I've got a wee app on my phone, a wee countdown app, and I constantly look at it, and it reminds me that I'm working towards that event. Yeah. You know, so any given time, if anybody accesses that app, there's at least 6 things on it. There you are, very and good. That can be something as simple as a 5k run or a 10k run. At the minute, it'll say Omaha Half Marathon, like next week, Belfast Marathon, Kilkee Triathlon, Holiday 2. Family holidays on it. Yes. And the last event that's on it currently is the Northern Ireland snooker. Me and the missus like watching snooker. Good. So it's on it. You know what I mean? Dennis Taylor back in the day. So you know, it's just you need a have goal. Something to work for. You know, definitely you need an end target. You need a goal. You know. And for me, those events, and this is just maybe the way I'm wired. I don't go to compete in them. I go to complete them, and
they're a celebration of. They're like a reward and a celebration, and you go home with a wee T-shirt and a medal. But I often take the opportunity to remind myself, like, holy shit, I've just done that. Like, because whenever I was 30, when I should have been a lot more fitter and a lot more active, I wouldn't I'd have bothered running a bath.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I know it's like, and especially with triathlon, there is a lot of older guys and ladies in it as well, and it's like, I think whenever I finish Lanzarote Ironman, they bring you in, they check you, everybody lies down in the bed or you sit down or whatever, and there was a guy, there was a woman standing up, caught my eye, and she just looked like an elderly lady, and she was attending till it was, I presumed, her husband, which it was, and I remember saying, what age is he? And something rings a bell, he was like 79,
right,
that had done Lanzo at that time.
Jesus.
So yeah, there's no...
See, I'm actually challenged myself here, because I keep telling myself, Christ, I wouldn't like to do Lanzarote. But the more I'm thinking, it's because, and maybe it's the easy way out.
Because I think it's only Ironman or a few Ironman that doesn't really sell out every year, so it's that. And that's not as many people doing it. That's
the type of niche and box that you're looking for, really, isn't it? That's right up your street.
Lanzarote was my second Ironman, I think, that I done.
So how many Ironman have you done? How many official Ironman events have you done? Forget about the other.
I think I've done like 7 official, and then all the rest was like the DACA and the triple was in there, and then the other one was on Outlaw, which is like a guy started the Outlaw triathlon to sort of compromise.
I've heard about that. Aye.
So it's the same distance as an Ironman, and then they say at the end of it you are an outlaw. And it's a real good race. It was a lot cheaper, just again rock up, but good support and all. It was we drove over to England and done it, and you get a different wee tattoo. Then they have their own wee brand.
Aye.
So it's still going.
That could be one for me to think about then, just to get the next tattoo.
Yeah, because if you've done a branded one, like a lot of people obviously want the tattoo, but the Outlaw is a very good race to do as well. Really well organised. The guy that organised it had done like 15 or 20 Ironman himself, so he knew the score.
He knew what he was at.
Aye. So, well, between it and then that last lap that I done, I think of 20 full Ironman distances.
Unreal.
Done.
Unreal.
Aye.
So this next one then, when's it again? The one in Scotland?
15th of June. 15th of June, so...
And I know you're saying it's the last one, but I don't know. There could be more to come from...
I don't know. I never say never, like, but... I wouldn't say I've been there, done that, but...
There'll be something somewhere.
I know, there's always something.
If there was an OCR Ironman...
Yeah.
See the eyebrows going up and a smile widening there. If we could throw some sandbags and monkey bars in it, you'd be all over that.
Like I've done the World Championships in Canada a couple of times. It was the OCR Worlds. They were in London one year as well. Great fun events and spectacular scenery. The parts of the world you can get going to them races is unreal. That one in Canada was in Blue Mountain, and you're out overlooking the Great Lakes of Canada at the top of a ski slope doing an obstacle, and you can just look out and see for miles climbing up a rope, and it's just like wow.
It's phenomenal, isn't it?
It is unreal. So it was. So it's good to travel a bit and see the world and bring the family with you.
And what's the crack with the obstacle runs now at the minute? Are they getting a wee bit more difficult to access now? Is there? There doesn't seem to be too many of them about.
I think from the whole lockdown thing, a lot of them never really started back up again. They are still going. Like you could, if you're willing to travel, like Spartan do them all around the world. Norway, there's loads of places you can go and do them. England still have quite a few, so they have. But just over here,
it's quite weird, isn't it? Because lockdown hit everybody in a different way, and I know during lockdown you were running up and down your driveway here with a wheelbarrow. If I seem to remember, I remember tuning in thinking that mad bastard's still going.
It was that sort of. Well, I think I don't know how many weeks into lockdown we were, and everybody was getting scundered, or I don't know why you was anyway. You weren't allowed out as such, and I just thought, flip, I'll do a marathon up and down the driveway here for the crack.
I've pulled into your driveway, and it's not that well long.
No, it's not that long.
There's a nasty wee incline. There's a wee incline in it, like.
There is. So I just come in and said to the wife I was going to do it, and she's like, well, whatever.
Just rolled the eyes and thought, here we go again.
Here we go. So I drilled the driveway and put the fencing post into the middle of the driveway and put the red and white tape up the driveway. Because I used to organise races, I still had like...
You have all this stuff
all the
at hand.
So
yeah.
Put out the big finisher thing at the pillars and put the red and white tape in and drove the 26 into the ground, and then I put up on Facebook that I was going to do it. And before I had done Belfast Marathon pushing the wheelbarrow a few times, and then I don't know who it was, it might have been Leroy or Aaron, some of them boys had commented saying, are you doing it with the wheelbarrow? And I think I had £700-800 on the Just Giving page, and I said to them, if I get £1,500 in the morning, I'll do it with the wheelbarrow, because I was going to do it at 9 o'clock on the following morning.
Yeah.
And of course, as normal, they all fired like £100 onto the Just Giving page each, and woke up the next morning, there was like £1,620. So got the wheelbarrow hooked out, got the compressor, got the wheel blew up, and away we went up and down the driveway. I think it was 375 laps or something.
Jesus.
Up and down the driveway.
I remember that. I remember tuning into that, watching that live, and the weather was phenomenal.
Oh, it was a sweat. I don't really do well in the heat. I just cable tied the phone to the post and put it on Facebook Live all day.
That's right.
The young girls, they kept everyone updated, and I kept everyone updated, and the money came rolling in, and it was great crack. And the neighbours were all out watching again, as if to say, what's going on here? And I think we raised something like £3,000.
Brilliant.
For the NHS. So that was that done, and then about maybe a fortnight or 3 weeks later, they locked us down again. And I said to the wife, flip, I'm going to do another one here with a wheelie bin. So I done a practice run the night before, or a couple of days before, with a wheelie bin, just to see what I'd done, a mile up and down the driveway with a wheelie bin, and then put all the posts and all back into the driveway again, and got the wheelie bin hooked out and started again 9 o'clock the next morning. I only got 6 laps done, and the wheel fell off the wheelie bin.
I was going to say the wheelie bin wouldn't have been kitted out for that.
So the wife, they only had the wee girl at the time. She was only about 3 or 4 months old, so I had to stick my head into the door real quick and say to the wife, she was like breastfeeding the baby, and I was like, you may go and empty out the rubbish out of the black bin, I need a spare wheelie bin here. So she gives me the look again, as if to say, I'm trying to feed here.
I'm kind of busy,
but fair play to her, she went out the back and counted all the black bags out of the bin and got the bin ready. But my dad had been watching it on Facebook as well, so he only lives a mile up the road, so he
landed down with it.
He threw his blue wheelie bin into the
spare bin.
So I landed down, and I remember thinking,
Christ.
If this happens again, I tell my dad to bring a ratchet strap with him, and I says, if all shit hits the fan and the wheel comes off again, I'm going to put the wheelie bin into the wheelbarrow and ratchet it down, and whatever it takes, I'm going to finish it with the wheelie bin. So we discovered it was the rattle. The wheelie bin was too light, so I had a couple of sandbags.
Oh, you had to weight
so
it down.
Had to put 2 10-kilo sandbags, or one anyway, 2 5s into the wheelie bin to stop it from slapping about. Which then meant the wee kicker up the drive, I had to pull the wheelie bin up.
You're pulling a 20 kg down with you
and
as
then
well.
Whenever I went round the top, the wheelie bin
pushing you
down. So,
yeah.
But we got it done anyway. I got an hour, I think there was an hour, 2.5 or 3 grand raised.
Unreal. You've raised some bucks over the years. You know, you've done some wacky things. Another one that's coming to my mind now is you decided it would be a good idea to do a bit of backwards running.
Oh yeah.
How far did you run backwards?
I done, first person to run 100 miles backwards.
100 miles, because I was telling someone about this the other day, you know, and I said, I think he ran 100 miles. It was a marathon or 100 miles. The boy went, 100 miles? Not a hope. Maybe it was just a marathon, but it was 100 miles.
Yeah, so I done the Police World Firing Games backwards about 10 or 12 years ago. It was a bit of crack. Then
I'm going to have to stop you. What is the Police Firing Games?
So the World Police Firing Games is like a thing around the world. So they take in different countries, different cities around the world, and it came to Cookstown one year.
Right.
So my cousin Bob,
bit random,
yeah. My cousin Bob, he dressed up he wore a gorilla suit, and I ran backwards in like a Santa dress.
Right.
And headed off and done the 13 mile backwards. It was cruel. It took about 3 hours. And got it finished. And then that was kind of put to bed. There was nothing else really. And then about, I don't know, 10 years after that, I just decided I was going to have another go at run the back ways a wee bit. Excuse me. And then it escalated till I was going to try and do a marathon. So I signed up till done Belfast half first, ran it back ways. And then I'd seen another guy on Facebook, and he was training to do 100 miles back ways. So I was sort of following him back and forward. And at that time I was training to do Dublin Marathon back ways.
Right.
And he was kind of doing the same mileage as I was doing. And I thought, flip, he'd need to up his game here a wee bit if he's going to do the 100 miles.
Yeah.
So, well, I'd end up, he done 100 kilometres back ways. And then I got the Dublin Marathon done back ways. I had a couple of people helping me, and it was surreal doing the marathon back ways. And then that was the previous year.
Because most of us can see the finish line, you can't.
I know, I could see everybody yet coming down Phoenix Park.
Nobody has a clue who you are. They can't even see your face, your number, and all.
It was unreal.
There's people. Whenever I did Dublin, there was people going, "Go on, Michael." You know, they were able to see you.
Yeah, well, there was people with me. They were crewing for me, and they sort of steering me back and forward, left and right. I could see people asking them, how far is he doing here, and they were like, he's gonna try and do the whole thing, and I could see their faces then in like amazement. So I got around Dublin and got it done, and then maybe 6 months or 8 months after that, I thought, flip, I'll maybe try and do 100 miles here.
So you went from the 20. I've done 26. I could do 100.
Yeah, kinda.
Rather than doing, I've done 26. Could I do 50? No,
I just jumped. Yeah.
Your escalations and my escalations are very different.
Yeah. So then decided I was going to do 100, and then within about Dublin Marathon was coming up the following year again. Within about 4 or 5 weeks. So I done a few miles back ways, and I thought, if I can train here in 3 or 4 or 5 weeks and do Dublin again, sort of on a whim, that would put me in good stead then for doing 100 miles mentally. In my head I thought, well, if I can do a marathon without any training, if I
can
train
just
hard,
go
I
out
could do 100.
And you're talking about backwards at this?
Backwards again. So down to the start line again, and again with my crew with me, and got to the start line. Wee bit nervous because obviously you're running the wrong road, and maybe somebody's going to say something to you or take you off the course or tell you to turn around.
In case you got reprimanded or whatever.
I don't know if there's actual law against it. But I got to the start line and turned around and headed off again, and I got around it in 5 hours. I wanted to break 5:30 and got around in 5 hours 28.
Deadly.
I got around in, and then that sort of mentally put me in good state for tackling the 100. So then I committed then, that was October, and I ran the 100 mile back ways in December. So the time frame was short. Like I originally was going to do like April the following year, but because it was just taking up so much time, I was getting so sore, and I just thought I'm going to like break before April. So I just thought, right, December. I had done other big challenges in December, and I sort of knew my fitness was always sort of good in around then, and I just thought, right, game on, and picked the date in December.
And tell me, what about the old bones and the muscles running backwards? Where's that hitting you? And it's hitting you in different places.
Calves and quads and feet. Started taking blisters because I don't normally take blisters, but because you're pushing back ways, my toes was like getting squashed into my shoes.
Oh yes, so into the tips of the end of the toe box. Getting chaffed a wee bit.
And then you just, like, if you do 10 mile back ways, you just be sore for days after it. Whenever you're marathon training, I'm sure like yourself at the moment, you're probably doing back-to-back days. 8 mile one day, 10 mile the next.
Sort of, yeah.
Kind of with the back ways, it's like 10 mile, have to wait 3 days, do another 10 mile, because you were just so sore.
I remember at the finishing green at the BST runs in Park North, there was a backwards running
bit,
it wouldn't have been 100 yards.
It was.
And you went backwards up it, and you ran front ways down it, and then you went backwards, back up, and back down. And I fucking hated it.
Oh, it was grim.
And you know what? The thing about it was, it was something that nobody had ever done, and it looked so simple.
Yes,
But whenever you actually went to do it, it was like, holy shit, this is really difficult. Apart from the fact that you'd maybe covered
10K
pretty hellish terrain in the previous 10K, and the ground was a wee bit kind of bouncy and whatnot, but it was tough.
Oh, I know, it was, like I say, I picked a wee road out the road for me, So it was like a half a mile up a straight, and I would have just trained on it on my own, done 2 and 3 hours on my own.
You must have got some lucks.
I was a wee bit, at the very start I was a wee bit conscious of the cars. There wasn't very many cars, but whenever there was a car I sort of would have stopped and kind of bluffed and let on a tail ace or whatever.
Stretched my hamstrings.
Yeah, but whenever you stopped, it was like as if you sort of got like a motion sickness, because you run backwards, everything was like wobbling. So I found whenever you stopped, you kind of wanted to nearly fall over.
Right.
So then it just was like frigate, and it just kept on running backwards. Then I found it safer whenever I met a car.
But would you have done any of that training by yourself?
Oh, I don't know.
So I mean, even that looking over your shoulder type stuff, your neck would have been in bits.
Getting physio on my neck like regular, and I done over like 120 mile training backwards on my own.
That's bonkers.
I just, instead of going out for a 10 mile run frontwards, I was going out doing 10 mile backwards.
6-pack on the lower back.
It was, yeah. And then on the must have been the start of November, took a day off work. Again, Donovan Ross had lent me the lock, which is where I was going to do it, because it's a safe environment. There's no cars. So it ended up, it was like 400 laps as well, out and back, because you can't actually run right around the whole lock. So I was doing training days out there at night. My mates would come out with me and we'd go out on a Friday night for 3 or 4 hours. And I'd run backwards, they'd run frontways, obviously. But I took a day off work and I wanted to go out, and I'd done a marathon on my own, training on the course that I was going to be doing the 100 miles on, just to get used to it. So mentally, if you can go and do a marathon backwards on your own, it puts you in good stead then for if you have all your mates, all your friends, all your family and people with you. It puts you in good state for, right, I can do 100 with the help of everybody.
That's unreal.
So that was 2 halves, 3 fulls and 100 mile backwards.
That is nuts.
Yeah, it was something else now. Yeah.
Tell me this. See if I know if I've been into the Deca garage and it's adorned with medals and milestones on the wall, and it's lovely.
Cheers.
To be able to go into that and look at that and remember that and see, you know, it's a real nice visual representation of your own journey. But it's also a very, very inspirational place for someone to come in to see, you know, and get a sense that I'm in safe hands. This guy knows what he's talking about.
Yes.
You know
Well, hopefully now, hopefully.
If anybody wants to get in touch with you, Keith, or anybody, or if you're able to, are they able to link in with you on Facebook or Instagram, or what's the best way to?
Keith Clarke on Facebook, and then the Deca Garage on Facebook. You can just drop a message if you just want a hand with anything. I'm always willing to help. Lots of people message me, even if they don't want to come training. They might be doing an event themselves and they want a wee bit of info and like food and prep and stuff. I'm always willing to, because I love people reaching their goals as well. So I do. So like by all means, give me a shout. No questions too stupid, or no events too crazy. And
you're a kind of I get the sense that you're a jack of all trades. You don't like to. You're probably not a guy that wants to be pigeonholed. You know, I would say that the Deca Garage can be a calisthenics place one night. It can
it can be
jungle gym the next. You could be doing handstands and swinging about in monkey bars. You could be
like, I have a clients coming to me for over 10 years, so you have to keep it mixed up for them and for myself. Like. All my clients are real faithful. Some people, like, they just literally never miss the classes on a Monday and Wednesday night. PTs never miss. They're so good. So very thankful that way. But I just try and mix it up with them. I go out for a run with them. Sometimes we do team workouts. I help them, they help me. And they just, like, I write out the whiteboard. Some nights they don't know what they're doing. For instance, last night there was the group class and they had to do only one rower, so they had to do a combined half marathon row between them.
Right.
And it was up to them whenever they wanted to get off the machine or go to the blow or do 500 metres or 10 minutes or 5 minutes. So it was good challenging for them too, mentally.
And that just creates that kind of sense of nearly competition between. Nobody wants to let the team down, and then they up their own individual.
Like it ran on over time actually, and everyone stayed till they got it finished. They had like 4k to go, so.
And all went home buzzing.
Oh, it was real good, All get a wee energy ball at the end of the evening and away they go.
Maybe.
So they do.
Tell you what, Keith, my mind is blown. Hey, it's just been absolutely amazing chatting to you.
No bother.
But I tell you what, there's a book in you.
Oh, flip, hey. Aye.
You have some stories. I tell you, you have been round the block a few times, and you have some tales to tell.
I know.
Have you ever thought about putting any of it down on a book?
Like again, I'd love to like write a book, like if somebody steered me in the right direction as such, but I wouldn't know where to start. Like, but yeah,
it's like everything else. You start at the beginning.
I know. Well, Jerry Duffy, he had done the DACA. He is the first man in Ireland to do a DACA. He actually won it that year, and he has wrote a couple of books.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say I've read them all, but I've skipped through them, and they're pretty inspirational. Like
I had never intended to write a book.
Yeah.
My book is a very, very small book, and it's a very, very short book because it was only really ever intended to be just a wee record personally, so that I could show the boys.
Maybe that's good, but you get all the points across.
I just get all the points. I get all the wee bits in that I want to get in.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really just so that at some point in the future the boys might be in a position to say, sit you down here, Cub, I tell you about the day your granda done the Ironman.
Yes.
So what are your kids, what story do they pick? Because your grandkids are going to be told some yarns about their mad granda high and antics and carry on that they get up to.
Well, I think
because it is, and I know you're a very modest person and you're quite humble, but it's a phenomenal story. This stuff that you have done, it really is something special. It's a very, very unique.
I love the photograph. Whenever I'm finishing the DACA, the wife went home and she got the 2 kids at the time, and she got them out of bed.
Aye.
And we're coming down the finish line. I'm carrying the wee man on my shoulders, Lance is on my shoulders, and Madison's in the wife's arms, and we're coming over the line. Like, and he was really young at the time. Like, he was maybe only 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
So it obviously doesn't stick with him. But my mate had said to me whenever I'd finished the backways and the fireworks were going off, and somebody had handed me a bottle of champagne and popped the cork and spraying the bottle, and Lance, my cub, he would have been maybe, what age would he have been that time? He had maybe been 11 or 12, and he was in the photograph and he gave me a big hug, and my mate seen him looking at me as if to say, my daddy done that, and that was the one time I think something will resonate with him, but it's
such a legacy to leave, and the lessons that you're teaching them in, and the inspiration that you continue to provide for the rest of us, because I put it back to that simple wee saying, monkey see, monkey do.
Oh, big time. Big time.
You're a real good example of that, that's when they see what their dad is capable of, and I suppose this goes right across the board and across all sports and across all domains, but when our kids see what we're doing, they'll copy us.
Yeah, no, right. Like, I don't post overly much on Facebook, but whenever I do, I remember putting a post up saying, maybe your kids are lazy because you are, and
and that's one of those uncomfortable truths. And it's not that's an honest, truthful post.
I've seen people saying to me, I'd maybe say to them, maybe not even clients, just at sporting events or in general, I'll be like, what about the kids? Do you take them to the pool much? And they'll be like, no, I don't, because I don't like the water, and everything. Well, just because you don't, your kids might, and they're missing out. So like I know whenever we take the kids out to Monkey Pups, it's a bit of a hauling. You have to bring a bucket with you. You have to bring clean clothes. You have to bring warm water for them. It's not just like bringing them to the park, but like the parent has to. They have to get out of their comfort zone as well, and they have to put in the effort to make the kids, do things out of their comfort zone. I think a lot of parents are just be like lazy to a certain extent and can't be bothered. So like we have to show them like everything's capable and everything's doable. And there's
a lovely quote that I am very fond of, which is, if you want something bad enough, you'll find a way.
Oh, no,
and
right. No doubt.
If you don't, you'll find an excuse.
Yes.
And I think people are too fond of the excuses.
Oh, I know.
Big time. And I'm as guilty. I'm guilty of that. And I remember that was one of the driving forces for me to try and get my shit together, because I'd have been making up excuses not to go out and kick a football with the lads, and now I'm able to do that. And it's just the realization that your own needs have to be put into the second place?
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Like I was saying about the training, like I'm obviously trained for that Keltman, and I had the van rightly packed to go to Gorchin on the Saturday morning or Sunday morning. I was going like a 3-hour bike and an hour run, and then Lance, my son, had chirped up that he was looking to go mountain biking till Knockmoney on the same day, and then I was like, flip, I'm not going to be back in time to get back up the road, so I just had to change my training a wee bit, and then I went out on the bike around home, which meant I was near home, and then jumped in the van with him. He went with his mates till Knockmoney mountain biking, and I brought the running shoes and I got the run in. So you know, you can tweak things and make things work, and go out earlier, come home later. And like the wife will always tell the story of whenever I was training, I can't remember if it was the triple or the DECA, but one night anyway, Lance was only like about 5 months old. We're getting up to make him a bottle, and I had looked out. I had planned on going out on the bike anyway that morning early, but I looked out about 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was just one of them real clear, crisp nights. And I remember bringing the bottle down to the wife and saying, tell her I'm away on the bike here. Must have been the triple, because I think I'd done 220 mile that day. And I just headed off at 3:30 in the morning, and I done 50 mile around home on the bike, and then I done the Ironman loop, which was like Armagh, Newry, Warrenpoint, Newcastle, Bridge, Portadown, home.
Jesus.
Stopped at McDonald's for a burger right enough, and then I got back home here. It was lashing out of heavens, and then I got changed again, and then done the remainder of the miles around home. And you make things work, hey, and sacrifices.
You find a way.
Oh, I know, no doubt.
Find a way.
If you sign up till an Ironman, you'll get out of bed in the morning. You have to. You know, it forces you.
And the other important thing, I suppose, to get across and to communicate to people is what was my Ironman can be your 5K.
Oh, anything.
You know,
anything.
it
like
can be 2 lengths of the pool, as you say, or it can be that if I could walk from here to my father's house.
I have had clients text me panicking that they've signed up to the park run, and telling me, and I'd be like, you're okay, just go slow at the start and you'll get there, walk if you have to. And the next thing you know, they're doing Omaha half marathon. They're standing on the start line trembling. I have run with clients myself to not to necessarily get them to the finish line, but just to give them that wee bit of confidence that somebody's on their shoulder.
Yes.
If anything goes wrong, push them on off the half till, and like the satisfaction. Like I ran home last year with a client. He wanted to break 2 hours, and I come in 1:59, and
perfect.
To me that was like better than my PB. You know, it was like unreal that he took off on me down the finishing straight. I could hardly keep him. But the adrenaline kicked in, and it was unreal. And then,
but it's a good buzz to get that from helping someone else.
No, it was unreal. So.
And I think if we can help ourselves and realise that we can help our kids and help each other, then the world's a better place, isn't it? Surely.
No doubt, it has to be, because it's a big bad world out there. So
maybe we're a pair of dreamers, but we'll just keep on dreaming.
Yeah, no, it's good to dream. That's how half that stuff starts in my head.
I'm just wondering where the next dream. I'm sure your wife's terrified every time you wake up with a glint in your eyes. She's going, "What now?"
I know it's. No, she knows by now. Like, no.
Hey, keep us posted about the trip to Scotland.
Oh, the Keltman. I know,
the Keltman, because that's going to be something special. That's going to be.
I'm looking forward to it now. So, the logistics getting there and stuff, but everything's doable.
Unreal.
Everything's doable.
And anybody that wants to give you a shout, just get in touch with me through Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook, the DECA Garage page on Facebook.
The DECA Garage
not on Instagram.
Right. Okay. So DECA Garage on Facebook.
Yeah.
Keith, it's been a pleasure. I've really enjoyed that chat, and I'm sure a lot of people will get some inspiration from that.
Hopefully now, yeah.
Final question, what tune are we signing off to?
I like a bit of Meat Loaf, Bat Out of Hell.
Bat Out of Hell.
Can't go wrong.
Thank you.
Cheers.